Glass keeps breaking in my condo. How long should I keep my condo for? Stay tuned to this episode of Prime Property TV. I promise you, it'll be worth it. Good day, Toronto. Welcome to another episode of Prime Property TV. I'm so glad you could join us here. Ever since we started wedding planning months ago, Eamon has become an Advent DIY, do-it-yourself Pinterest user. And let me say, that cohort is huge. Here's some interesting facts about Pinterest that has nothing to do with real estate. I just found it super interesting. It's 80% women, 87% to be exact, not shocking. And 2/3 of the people that join it are women. And about 83% of the posts that are on Pinterest are by women. The average age of Pinterest is 40. So this tells me Pinterest is mainly moms, and it's kind of cool. However, I do have to say that some of the DIY projects that Eamon has shown me are pretty awesome. You can check out some of the ones she's completed over here. It looks pretty sweet. Look at all the travel adventures that we've had, and it makes it look much, much better. 2 thumbs up for interest. I'll probably be that 13% of men who are on interest. It's pretty cool. At the request of my good friend and client, he asked me to talk about, make a video talking about this article he read recently. It's about window shattering in condos. So here goes. Oh, by the way, if anyone has any questions they want me to answer on air and video, feel free to reach out to me in case it benefits anyone that they have a question. So he read this article that was quoting a Waterloo engineer, woohoo, Waterloo, about how condos fail in about the 15 to 20 year mark because it's basically encased in all glass. The fear is that as a condo owner, you will be on the hook for your proportionate share of these replacement costs of these giant pieces of glass. And this is totally valid. However, I'll start by saying that there's nothing really to fear because you should really be moving into another condo by the 10-year mark, even if it's well maintained. But before I get into the logistics of and the reasoning of why, let's start by saying that most windows, even in houses, need replacing about 15-20 years. Depending on the windows that you have, the most common ones look like this. These are casement vinyl windows, and around this time, 15-20 years, they still need replacing anyways. So it's not like condo windows needing replacing is a big thing. It's normal. So to say that condos are going to be obsolete after the fact that they have to replace the glass is kind of a moot point. All homes need upkeep. There are 100-plus-year-old homes that are selling for over $1.5 million right now as long as it's been renovated. Okay, so it could kind of be the same with condos, but you know what? You probably don't want to stick around long enough because one, the maintenance fees will probably go really high, and it may not make sense for you to put more money in it if the maintenance fees become super crazy high. So no worries on that front. Things failing is totally normal. It's kind of part of ownership, and oddly enough, you should probably just leave the condo in advance of that time. So yes, condos have a lot of glass since they have floor to ceiling glass compared to the houses, but that's kind of why you shouldn't stay in your condo for that long term. The longevity of your condo is basically how long and how well it's maintained, but I would say that any of the 20-plus-year condos that I see, mainly the ones on Bay Street, they hold up very well in terms of the rental market. They just don't do very well in the resale market unless you put some big bucks into it in terms of renovation because they're old and dated. Now, when you're talking about the financial effectiveness of a condo, that tends to not extend past 10 years. If you've taken my How to Profit from the Toronto Condo Market course, you'll understand the concept. If you haven't, make sure you click on the link and get it while it's still free for a limited time, okay? It's in the details below. So the maximum financial effectiveness of a condo is when you buy low and sell high. This is usually when you buy in the pre-construction phase at current market rates or under market value. So when the project is complete and you get all the appreciation during the time of the build, and when you get the keys, you have the newest and the best one on the street, just because that's how condos work, okay? Now, when you have the newest and the best one, it commands the highest rent and the highest resale value. Not to mention, you pay the lowest maintenance fees, so whether you live in the unit or you rent it out, the prime financial effectiveness of the years of the condos is the best in the early phase. After a few years, there tend to be new projects that come out that make your condo look not as good and eventually obsolete. Not to mention, the maintenance fees usually go up. I very rarely see maintenance fees come down. So an analogy for this, if you guys don't understand, is kind of like athletes. Many professional teams, they try to look for potential in a young athlete and they try to lock them up into long-term contracts. And these are their prime years of their performance years. So once they get older, they aren't as effective and you probably don't want to be paying them top dollars as an aging athlete. Same goes with condos. You want to get the most bang for a buck when you buy low and sell high, which is buying in the early stages of the project during the development and selling before the stock of the project drops, okay? So that's what you need to know and figure out to see what that time is. Now, that's also why you need to understand and know when to sell your condo to maximize profits before you move in a new one. And a good red flag is when you see the maintenance fees become too high. I would say the magic number is around 70 cents per square feet if you don't have all the expensive amenities. That's the red flag we're gonna look for. And that's why I recommend clients buy another pre-construction condo in advance while it's cheaper before all of the red flags start to happen so that you can move into it or rent it out. At least you have the next best project if you buy early and you're coming up to condo timeline and portfolio that will net you the most money. Just some food for thought. Thank you guys for watching. If you learned something, make sure you give me a thumbs up. And if you enjoy watching the video, subscribe to Prime Property Studio right here. If you have any questions or you want me to answer anything on air, you can leave them in the comment section below or give me a call or email. Contacts are right here. And please guys, remember, share this with your family and friends because like I always say, an educated consumer is the best consumer. I'll see you next time, Toronto. Happy real estating. You read about condo shadowing in windows. What?
Condo shadowing. Wow, you're dyslexic.
Restart.